So hiring the right contractor can make or break a project.
Yeah, it's really the difference between a total disaster and your dream home.
Yeah. I'm Jerry,
And I'm Brooks.
and we're here to help educate and empower you in everything construction. So look, hundreds of homeowners a year, they lose thousands and thousands of dollars just by not doing the research. They don't know the questions to ask. They don't take the time to figure the questions to ask before they sign a contract. I've seen it personally, only in the construction business, and it saddens me, honestly, when we come up on job sites that are half done and the contractor's taking them a ride. And so my passion, my goal is to educate you the guys, anybody who's looking at doing a remodel project, there shouldn't be. And unfortunately, those bad contractors cause it harder for us in the industry to do the right thing because everybody's skeptical on that.
Right. So, yeah. And so in this video, we're going to go over 9 essential tips that you need to know when hiring the right contractor. And so these tips will not only help you save time and money, but it'll also give you peace of mind and just put you at ease whenever hiring a good contractor or just doing your project.
Yeah, so be careful because anybody can start a contracting business. So making sure you do your homework and picking that right contractor can save you thousands. Stick around to the end because there's going to be one thing that I want to talk about, one piece of paper that will save you thousands if you just use that time. And it could cost you thousands if you don't use it, right? Okay, so who are we, right? So I'm Jerry Martin. I own a New Day Construction. We do residential remodeling, so we do kitchen, basements, bathrooms, porches, decks, additions, and more. We're a faith-based contracting company, and we stand firm on that. So we put people first. We're a people-driven company that includes our staff, but it also includes our customers. And we let God take care of money. It's just that simple. So we know if we take care of people, God takes care of money. So my passion, my goal is when it comes to this industry is to educate and empower customers to not get taken by bad contractors. And so that's been my passion. And I hope through this process and through you, we're going to come on weekly. And not hopefully we're going to do it. and to help give you those nuggets, those informations to help you navigate through this process. And Brooks has been a major catalyst of our growth. He does all our marketing, our social media marketing, from Google to Facebook to everything. Stuff that I know about. Don't know everything you do. But we do meet. We talk about things like that. But if you own a business without the proper marketing, you don't have a business. And that's one thing I had to learn when I got into business. You can be a great contractor. You can be great at anything you do. Interior designer. It doesn't matter what you do. But unless you know marketing, you have no business. And so it's very important to, one, if you don't know marketing, find the right person.
Right.
And two, making sure you have that built into your budget. It's a costly thing that will pay off.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be more videos if you're interested in that. And we'll talk about that growth and how what he done really changed your life. So anyway,
right. Yeah.
You don't need to talk about yourself now. I'm going to talk about you. Go ahead. Tell us a little bit about you.
Yeah. Again, my name is Brooks Burnett, and I've been working with Jerry for about 1.5 years now. And so I do have to give Jerry props though for helping me out. And we do websites. We do the name of our company is Remodel Reach Marketing. We're a full service marketing agency for the home contracting business, and so. We do websites, search engine optimization, advertising, and helping all those different things to help get people calling and help get people through your door and things like that. But I have to give Jerry props because he is very involved in our process. And so we're sharing tips, sharing ideas, and he's just always involved. And so I have to give you props, man.
I'm laughing over here because I feel like I'm not. I gotta get back to Brooks. And he asked me a question. I'll get back to later.
It's funny.
If I'm that involved, you must have the customers are not involved.
That is very true. Yeah, it's very true.
So before we get started, I do want to share a story. A personal friend of mine went through a remodel project. He couldn't wait on us. Impatient. And of course, I told him everything to look for. And what happened? Did not do that. So end up taking him for a ride. And then number one thing is making sure you vet that customer. And through this process, these 9 things we'll go through and we'll talk about it. That way you'll have the information you need before you sign that dotted line. Because once you sign it, you're bound to it. So yeah.
So Jerry, why don't we just start off with insurance? So how important is insurance and just licensing in general when hiring a contractor?
License and insurance, very, very important. So let's talk about licensing. So that's more of a GC license or something like that. It gives you the license to operate in that state, to do that project. So making sure that you're licensed. Now, you can get a licensed, unlicensed contractor. So handymen, stuff like that, don't have to be licensed. So there is areas to where permitting are required on the jobs, especially moving electrical, moving walls, moving plumbing, stuff like that. Of course, then there's also handyman stuff that doesn't have to happen, like changing out lights, stuff like that. But making sure that they have the right license is very important. Insurance is a must. And we are going to shoot a video that really dives deep into workman's comp and the layers around that and how contractors skirt around that industry and be really transparent how that works because it's mind-blowing. So making sure if they do give you insurance is you're calling and checking on it because anybody can get an insurance policy, right? But the thing is did I cancel it and I'm not paying anymore? But I have a piece of paper that shows you I have insurance. So making sure you call an insurance agency. Right. The best thing to do too is when we have a contractor doing a job for you is to have you listed as additional insured on that insurance. That way, if something happens during construction, you are covered.
So what's the best way that someone who's looking at hiring the right contractor, what's the best way for them to ask for licensing insurance? Should they just come up to you and just say, hey, let me see your licenses, or should the contractor have it posted somewhere? Like, what do you think?
Yeah, honestly, if they're a contractor that's reputable, it comes with our agreements. It's in there. So it should be an easy task. Should be expected to ask. So if you're afraid to ask that question, maybe you have the wrong contractor. If you have a contractor that kind of evades that question, you have the wrong contractor. So yeah, just ask. Okay, that's definitely one essential.
Okay. Well, good. And so moving on, let's talk about deposits. And so how do deposits work? How should they work? What's your recommendation there?
That's kind of all over the place in the industry. We don't take large deposits. We take deposits on special items only. So if we're doing a kitchen or something like that, of course, the supplier, the manufacturer requires us to pay for that for it. So those we do. I look at it as it's an agreement. We sign a contract and we're going through this together. I need to do my work, but they need to pay me for my work. So the way we do it is we take weekly draws. We come in and start working. You see the work done. You go, okay, we'll call and say, hey, we need to draw this week for this amount of money based on this amount of work. You say, check. Mm-hmm. That's done, and we get paid. So to me, that's the fair way. Now, a lot of contractors don't do it that way. And to me, it's really helped with cash flow because we have that weekly cash flow coming in. So it helps everything. It helps the customer, helps that anxiety, that stress. Going, oh my gosh, I was going to give them $20,000, $40,000. They're coming back. Mm-hmm. And so that's the fear is, those contracts, we do those. So the question you got to ask yourself is why they're asking for a deposit. Mm-hmm. So can they afford materials? So that's a question. If they can't fund the job, the bigger question is if there's a warranty issue, or if they do have a warranty, are they going to be able to come back? Because I've had jobs that catastrophic things happen, $10,000 catastrophic things, water pipes, bust, stuff like that, that have done the right thing. Now, luckily, we've been blessed to have that money in the bank account and making sure that's set aside for that. But a lot of contractors don't do that. So that's the things you look for. Really, when it comes to deposit, that's a big question. Mm-hmm. If it's materials, you want to save money, you got trying to help this guy down the street, you start with a contracted business. That's fine. Go pay for the materials. Go to Home Depot and pay for the materials. Have them delivered to your house. They're your materials. Don't let them take them anywhere. Don't let them give you any money. And then don't pay them until they're done with the job. Or they're 50%. Wherever you see, you pay them for the amount of work's done. So a lot of contractors starting that push and give you these stories about how much they need that draw, they need this money. So yeah, be careful of deposits. There's a lot of underlying things that you don't know if they're asking about deposits. So yeah, if can they fund the job? Yeah. Why are they asking for it? And a lot of it's trust. A lot of them like, well, I don't trust the customer. Well, yeah, they don't trust you either. So what do you do? How do you overcome that? Well, you don't go after and go, hey, I need a big deposit, because all of a sudden you're asking them to trust you, but you don't trust them. I don't get that. So So yeah, I would say weekly. If I don't, maybe find a contractor who will.
Right. And I mean that I think that plays into the next tip here. So if finding just the good contractor, and making sure that you find the contractor that's going to be trustworthy and going to do all these things that you're mentioning here. What's the best way to do that? Is it references, or is there other places where you can go?
Yeah, the biggest thing is finding the right contractor. So, and a lot of times you can ask a friend, of course, they use somebody, and that sometimes is not good. Sometimes that's, I've heard, has been bad in the past. People call me and go, yeah, I used a friend of mine's contractor, and I didn't get the same service. Actually, there's one I went on that the ridge beam that they put in is sagging, and they won't come back and fix it. And so they call us out to look at it and see what we can do to help them out. So, but I would say Google reviews. If they have reviews, then it is hard in this industry to get Google reviews, positive reviews, because construction's hard. Right. We're in your home. And we're making a mess. And the longer we're there, the more irritated the customer gets. So how do you balance that, making sure you're doing what you do? Because you get a guy that goes in there and he does something that's just stupid, and you're responsible for that. Right. How do you balance that? How do you keep that relation? And so it's hard. So if you see a contractor with good Google reviews, positive Google reviews that are not made up, and so that's something you got to look forward to. Right. So usually good reviews have pictures that come along with them and stuff like that. They tell a story. You can see everything. So that to me, that's the very best thing, because I know how hard they are.
Yeah. This is something that I can speak to as well. Google reviews are directly from the customer, and so this is not something where sometimes you go on companies' websites and you see like our testimonials, and it's just kind of typed in and things like that. Well, you can't. It's very hard to forge and make fake reviews on Google. So it does happen. It can happen, but it's mainly local, like someone asking their brother or something, "Hey, go leave me a review." But it's not easy to get the review, and so Google reviews are very safe. And so a lot of times you can see replies, which is something good that Jerry does, is replying to those reviews. So if there is a negative review, then you can go in and read what the owner or whoever's at the company is saying to try and fix the situation. And that's something that Jerry has done well with the very few, only been a couple out of the many years of negative reviews. And it's good to put your 2 cents in and see what the owner has to say themselves. And so they're very good, very reliable.
Yeah, and I would say, I'm glad you said that, because I had a customer the other day that said something. Yeah, people put fake reviews. I'm like, not now. Right. Maybe then. Right. Google's bigger than that. There's no way.
Yeah, it's hard.
I've been suspended. Right. And it's easy, and then if you're not careful, it gets suspended things you didn't even do. So we have to be very careful as business owners now. Obviously, you put something fake out there, they'll catch it. Right. That's very true. That's very true. Character. And so and another thing too, and I was thinking when you were talking about it, is you can really tell the character of the business owner as they answer these reviews too. Right. Yes. See where they're at. Are they being defensive? That's the thing. They're being defensive. Wait a minute. Am I taking responsibility? Right. Because I believe in every situation, you got to own you. Because somebody's upset, they have a perception of what happened. You didn't do everything right. Honestly, so you created some type of perception. Yeah. Just make sure you own yourself.
Yeah. Well, so moving on to the next topic here, the next tip here. So let's talk about estimates a little bit. And so, when giving someone an estimate, is it good? Is it a good sign if they're kind of vague, or you think that it's too good to be true kind of thing? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, a lot of people out there price. And a lot of contractors just called on to price. I give you I think give you a low estimate. If I know you're about price, and I give you a low estimate, then you're probably going to pick me. But what you don't know is I'm going to pack it full of change orders. I forgot to put in there. So vague contracts will get you big trouble, because you're still responsible for the amount of money. Now he's in the middle of the project, and he can't go any further because you got to do this one thing that wasn't in there, and he's now asking you for this inflated amount to do that one thing because he's got you on the hook. So making sure that you have it very detailed, and I've got customers too. We are very detailed. In our agreements, there's videos that explain. There's education, and there's options. There's really cool. The new software we have is really cool, but we still have customers that don't read the contracts. We go through the job and they go, "Are you going to be doing this?" It's like, that was in the contract. Well, it was supposed to be. It's like, but so not only that, making sure you do your job, and as that contract comes up, that's your time to go through it, pick through it, ask questions, and make notes, get changes done. Do not be afraid of that contractor. Do not be afraid to ask those questions. Do not be afraid to push a little bit because it's money. It's your money. And if you're not careful, they'll take it. So our number one competition is bad contractors. Somebody asks me, who's your number one competition? It's bad contractors. They make it hard for the industry. They make it hard for us because we're having to fight going, hey, look, we are real. We do stand for what we do. We do stand for God. And people are still skeptical. And but I like it. I love it when we start and they go, you guys are really real. We was at a meeting the other day, one of our staff meetings, and one of our project managers prayed for one of the customers, and he said the look on their face like, that's really for real. And so it'd be really cool to jab them on. But anyway, that's me getting off track. Sorry about that.
Well, I mean, that plays right into the next tip, which is communication. So, communicating the estimate, communicating the licensing, the insurance, and just any questions or problems that might come up during the job. So how should they approach communication? How should anyone who's looking for a new contractor approach communication?
So right off the bat, if you're texting or communicating with a contractor and they don't get back with you in a timely fashion, weekends, have some grace on that. Because I do have people who reach out, think it's a great idea to reach out on the weekends. I'm sorry to bother you. Okay, I got it. I want to serve, but again, there's a balance because people, they want you to serve them. I just take a firm stance, and sorry to get off rails here. I had a customer say, hey, can you come out on the weekends or in the evenings? I mean, we take the Chick-fil-A approach. So when I say we're out for our people, that's our staff too. Make sure they have their family time. And I tell the customer, hey, because who we are, what we're about, we're this company, family's important. So is there any way we can meet your woman and adjust your catch? Because the thing is when they start the work, they have to take off work. They have to adjust their schedule. So it's kind of like they want you to adjust the schedule, and sometimes it's people. So what was the question again?
Communication. How should they approach communication?
Yeah, if they don't get back with you in timely fashion, send them a text and you don't hear anything back. That's how your job's going to run. Typically, if you left them a voicemail, they call back. That's how your job's going to run. It's that simple. Communication is crucial, and we strive hard. I mean, we've got apps now for every job that we put the customer in. The guys are in the app, and so there's communication there, but it's still not enough. We still get our number one thing is you don't communicate, right? Okay. But we don't. I take it, look at it. Okay, how can we get better? So communication when you're doing this much, especially remodel, you got a lot of moving wheels. It's very, very important.
Right.
Making sure you kind of get that right and get
right. All right. So Jerry, tell me a little bit about permits and how important are they? And just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, whether the job requires it or the contractor. So the thing is, if the contractor, we offer several ways to do that. We respect things, but there are some jobs we will not do without a permit. So local codes are different. Every local is different. Most of the time, let's talk about decks. If it's attached to your house, it's permitted. It's got to be detached. So if it's detached, it's a floating deck, and it's less than 30 inches, 36 inches in some counties. You just have to know that. It doesn't have to have a permit. Other than that, it has a permit because people are standing on it. There's going to be weight on there. You've seen the accidents where the weight decks collapse. That's why we want somebody checking behind me. Because again, if a person's starting a construction business, which is easy to do because they either dropped out of school. I'm not saying I don't want to say that, but in general, that's unfortunate. And so it makes it easy to start. And so not knowing the right things to do to prevent stuff like that from happening. So skating under permits and and going, hey, you don't need a permit for the job. If they say, hey, you don't need a permit for the job, and you've done your investigation, dude, then you need to like step away because either they don't know what they should, or they don't want to deal with a permit because they're not licensed. So you as a homeowner, can pull your own permit, just file one that makes you responsible for everything. So it's okay. So sometimes we have homeowners do that because we charge to pull permits. We charge $1,500, and that includes all the fees, and we pay a person to do nothing but pull permits because it is a pain in the bush. It's harder for contractors than it is for homeowners. They make us jump through a lot of hoops. I've had owners walk out with a permit. It takes us 2 weeks sometimes. If they don't have a contractor's license, they don't get you to try to pull a permit. And I said, it's okay. You just got to know that you're responsible for it. If anything happens to the job, you're responsible.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of risk, though. I mean, that is a lot of risk to take on. So,
but it happens all the time. So it's not bad. There's a lot of owners that do their own work, which they still can do. They can build their own decks, they can add rooms to the house, stuff like that, and they can pull their own permits. And when it comes to the electrical and stuff like that, we do have to license electrical to come out there. So even if you're pulling your own permit, we have to come underneath there and still show our general contractor's license, stuff like that. So they're making it harder for the new contractors coming up to make sure they're doing the right things.
okay.
So yeah, basically in interiors, you're good with electrical, good with plumbing, moving walls. That's typically a permit application. If it's handyman, like I said earlier, changing out lights, stuff like that, no. Some if you're covered. It's totally up to you now. Sometimes when it comes to basements, I've got some kickbacks from customers because, they don't want government inside their house. And, we add on the basement, you add on square footage, guess what? They reassess it, and all of a sudden your taxes go up because now your house is bigger and they know it. So that is the trap. So yeah, that's something we'll walk through together and talk about.
Yeah. Well, so coming to one of our last questions here. So the speediness of the contractor, can them saying, hey, we can start tomorrow. Is that a good thing, or what are your thoughts on that?
The speediness or speediness? I guess it is. Well, speeding. I like it though. Typically, if they get to it right away, that's a red flag. That means they're not busy. If they're not busy, why not they busy? That's the question you got to ask yourself. Is not get excited. Oh, they can start tomorrow. This is great. No, it's not great. Unless they have a legitimate reason. Now, sometimes we'll have a job that postpones or it gets moved, and I can call it, hey, we can actually start the job tomorrow. But I go through the process and tell them why. But if they're quoting you and if they're saying, hey, and can you start? I start tomorrow. Why? Why are they not busy? Because if they're really good at what they do, they're really running the business, then they're going to be busy. And so just be careful. I'm not saying that's 100% always happen, but it happens.
Just things to look out for. Just lots of things to look out. I understand. So, Jerry, tell us about someone who might not have a physical address or a contractor who doesn't have, somewhere where you can visit or an office or something like that.
Yeah, most contractors do not. They mostly work at their house. How that becomes a problem is you don't know where they're at. They're not listed. So if you're Googling contractors, typically they got to have an address there. Google, you don't have to have an address. No, you don't.
Not necessarily.
So, if something does go wrong, how do you find them? That's the thing you need to know is, if they take your money, where they at, right? And so making sure you know where they're at. If they give you an address, you're Googling, you're digging into it, you're finding out where they're at, because if they aren't true for that, then there's a problem, right? We have a storefront, of course, and that's kind of what I tell customers. We're here. If some problem, just come in the door. We're going to take care of you. So, making sure you know where they're at is very important.
And so I guess that brings us to our last tip here. So lien waivers, how important are they?
So the bonus on lien waivers are huge, and nobody does it. It's actually part of our agreement. Actually, it's part of our language. So basically, what it is, have you ever heard of lien waivers?
I've not.
Sounds kind of crazy, right? So if you hire me, and let's say you want us to build your deck, right? I have a charge account at Home Depot, or I go to Target, right? We build your deck. I don't pay my account. Home Depot come back to you. Wow. So they're asking every time we set up a job, we have to give them an address. they want that address because they know that that's the material. So what they'll do, they'll put a lien on the house until the customer pays for it. It's not Home Depot's responsibility. They got chapter. Their materials are your house. They want their money. Your problems with the contractor, not Home Depot. So now you're just there. So lien waiver, what that does, it releases any liability that you have as a homeowner. So basically, the contractor gives to you and says, "Hey, I want you to know I paid for all those materials. They're paid for. But I'm showing you this is paid for, and that way, if anything happens, you're protected." Just that simple.
Yeah.
But it never gets done. So, and it happens. If you go over and talk to the local hardware stores, they have to do it. They have to go for homeowners. It's bad. It's bad for them, but they do your job as a homeowner, and so knowing that is very, very important. Lien waivers.
Right. And so a lot of these tips here, finishing up, these are just really important things that can get overlooked and are really easy to overlook. Because as a homeowner myself, I like Jerry just said, I've never heard of lien waivers and things like that. And so these are just very important and very crucial tips when looking for the right contractor.
So hopefully you like what you heard today, and hopefully you took some information and made some notes. And if you did, if you did or didn't, you just like the entertainment, just subscribe to the like it. That helps out a ton. If you have any questions, I do want to hear from you. So if any of this, prompted any questions, comment below. I'd love to hear any questions you have about this. Maybe if you'd love to hear back and you've been taken, you've been taken by a contractor, and you'd love to hear a story. That way, when other people watching this, they can see your story. They go, "Oh, wow, So your story will actually help others. So please do that. Be on the lookout too our next video for more tips and tricks and things to look for in the industry. So hopefully we're going to be coming out these things weekly. And so we'll be able to see those videos. So subscribe to our channel, like the video, give us some love. We love you. We want to educate you, and we want to empower you.
Well, thank you so much for watching.
All right, you guys have a blessed day. We'll see you next video.
See you.